hospital in Indianapolis and is reportedly in stable condition.
After dipping down below $3 a gallon for a couple of days, Indiana gas has now gone back up to $3.06 per gallon on average, says Gas Buddy. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, looking at southbound 6570, that construction delay stop and go from the north split down to the south split. Crash on the east side, Washington Street, west of Mithofer. Northbound 465 on the west side, a spill at Sam Jones Expressway. It's on the right shoulder, field spill, in fact. At eastbound 70, slow to downtown West Street into the south split. Traffic sponsored by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hardworking candy bar, so grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Wednesday evening, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, low temperatures around 63 degrees, and winds out of the southwest have 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be on the partly cloudy side of things, temperatures warm near 90. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renard Sudas, 493 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. How fired up are you, Mr. Jason Hammer, for the first time in 25 years? To the day, I believe, the city of Indianapolis is hosting an NBA Finals game tonight. 8:30 tip-off, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, OKC. Viewing parties everywhere around the city, including outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's going to be a party tonight.
I love what the city has done. You know, I've been out of town for the last couple of days. Come back, I see the JW Marriott's got the big Pacers NBA Finals stuff on it. The Arts Garden, all the buildings downtown. It's a sea of gold. I love seeing positive stuff in the community. We talk a lot about the negative, and trust us, we're going to get there.
We talk a lot about the negative community because there are negative things to talk about.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But the civic pride that's going on right now, this is awesome. And as a Pacers fan, I don't think it's hyperbole to say tonight is the biggest game in the NBA history of the Indiana Pacers. Go back 25 years ago, they were already down 0-2 when that series came back to Indy. And let's be honest, you kind of knew playing Shaq and Kobe that it probably wasn't going to work out for you.
They ended up winning one of those games, though. I was there for one of them.
Yeah, they won 2 out of the 3 home games.
Yeah.
And then lost the series in 6. Here,
heartbreaker.
Pacers led the finals 1-0, stole game 1 on the road, kind of laid an egg in game 2. So tonight, there's a lot of people, especially the folks in our sports department in the back, that say whoever wins tonight probably wins the series. You're in the driver's seat to win the series.
That's what, you're feeling. Jeff Boggs, buddy of ours who is working here with us at the station, had a very positive attitude the past couple of days with this upcoming game.
Yeah, that weirds me out.
That he had a positive attitude with these games coming up?
Nigel, I feed off of negativity.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm the kind of guy that thinks, don't jinx it. Don't tell me how great things are. Don't say the pitcher's got a no-hitter. Just shut up and enjoy the ride.
I think his point was every Pacer fan was saying we walk away with one in Oklahoma City. That's all we're asking for, and that's what we did.
Right.
That's what we did.
And now you're in a position, win your home games, hang a banner. That's it. Put that on Twitter the other night. Put it on Facebook. Win your home games. Hang a championship banner. Now, that's what I'm excited for. But there are some rumors that some sort of protest was supposed to take place outside the field house today, Nige. We talked about this in the back before the show started earlier today. Somebody put on social media like an ICE protest, maybe not to the extent of what you're seeing out in L.A., was supposed to be taking place outside of the field house prior to the game tonight.
Some sort of anti-ICE demonstration. I talked to some friends in law enforcement that are pretty high up, and the response was no known threats. It's a usual group. We're aware of it. We're all watching, but I think they're more worried about all the drunks,
right,
than they are anything else. Is the way this guy made it sound. Look, I'm not putting anything past. I got some serious post-traumatic stress syndrome, as I'm sure a lot of people do from 2020.
Right.
All right? Leading up to 2020 riots, before you and I think, said, well, Indianapolis really isn't a riot town. Oh, that turned out to be a wrong. But it doesn't feel like this cause, this demonstration, this controversy is on par with George Floyd.
Correct.
These anti-ICE demonstrations, these anti-deportation demonstrations. But who knows? We'll see. I hope I'm right. I hope things. I think, but according to our friends in the law enforcement, they're aware of certain aspects, certain outside agitators possibly, but nothing on their radar specifically.
And let's be honest, these things are organized. It's not like a spur of the moment type of thing. These are organized from the very beginning. And right now, the paid actors, the Malik Muhammads of the world, who were once in Indy and then went out to Portland, and now he's facing life in prison for trying to murder a cop back in 2020. The paid actors are probably all in either Chicago, Washington, or L.A. right now.
Right. They've got bigger markets to go agitate.
Right. It's just like the NBA Finals. It's a small market, and everybody's complaining and bitching and moaning about it. Here is the chief of police, Chris Bailey. He was part of a press conference. I think this was yesterday, and maybe you guys talked about it. He's focusing on the security aspect of these NBA Finals.
Our neighborhoods will be protected. No one in our city will go without police protection, despite the festivities going on in downtown Indianapolis. We've adjusted our staffing to increase our footprint, both in patrol cars, on foot, and in places that you will not see. We'll be utilizing our horses and drones and other ways to make sure that people have a safe and enjoyable time.
So, again, we're going to have a lot of closures around downtown. Matt Baer's going to have the latest coming up here in just a little bit. But if you're heading downtown, whether it be to go to the game or go to the parties to watch the game, you better get downtown early. Also hearing there may be a little protest taking place Saturday at the Indiana State House. There's a thing going around social media, the No Kings protest. It's a picture of Donald Trump wearing a crown because, of course, noon to 3 at the Indiana State House. So let's see if old boss Hogsett actually sticks around for this one. Sticking around for potential dangerous things, not really been his jam in years past.
No, although, it's from noon to 3. How, look, I'm not saying these things can't get out of control at any time of the day, but noon to 3 seems like if it's a peaceful demonstration, fine, go for it. Fine. And there's a side of me, a very cynical side of me, a side that might make sense, that would maybe there's a part of Hogsett that would like to see maybe things get a little squirrely here and there, but have his guys put it down immediately, squash the riot, the potential for a riot immediately, and then he could come out the next day and stand on a podium and brag and say, we took care of the agitators just like that, and boom, the scandal with the sexual harassment stuff is gone.
It all falls out of the news cycle,
Yep.
And lo and behold, old boss Hogsett tries to do a victory lap.
That's my theory.
As of right now, though, again, let me be the latest to say, welcome to the party, pal, to my friends in citywide media. Because for so long, it's just been this radio show and people like myself, Nigel, Rob Kendall, Tony who have just been ripping on Joe Hogsett because of the way he handles business. It's not just because we disagreed politically or have philosophical differences. This was a dude that's not fit to run the office, went missing during the riots. Any other major city, the mayor goes missing during the riots, it's a big deal. We literally had to beg people in the city, Nige, to ask, hey, you have access to Joe. Find out where he was at. Phil Sanchez at Wish TV, and I think Alexis, back when she worked at Wish, were the only ones. I mean, 13 wanted no part of it. Channel 6 didn't want any part of it. Fox 59 didn't want any part of it.
No, and the answers were really just kind of mealy mouth, give you the runaround type answers.
And now with the sexual harassment deal, they're finally realizing, wait a minute, Joe Hogsett might be a scumbag. Again, welcome to the party, pal. This is why people like WIBC, Nige, because we're out front on this stuff and we're right. Say what you want about Rob, but he's right when it comes to some of these guys being scumbags behind the scenes. We were right about the Camp Atterbury stuff, and we've been telling you for years now what kind of dude Joe Hogsett really is.
And what kind of dudes he surrounds himself with.
Correct. Wish TV, again, they're the only local TV station in this market that's had any stones when dealing with Joe Hogsett. They had one of their reporters, Kayla Russell, sit down with Joe Hogsett and ask him about the latest accuser, Maggie Adams McBride. This brings the total up to 5. Kayla Russell spoke to Joe Hogsett about the latest accuser.
Yes, Aaron, I just wrapped up my interview with the mayor a little bit ago. I asked him about his interaction with that new accuser. Her name is Maggie. It's an interaction that we caught on camera. Listen here for what he had to say. I know Maggie was in there. Tell me a little bit about that conversation with her.
Yeah, I was having lunch, and so she came up, and we did have a conversation. It's unfortunate that she's left the office because I thought she was a wonderful employee, but she's moved on to different things, and I just simply wished her the best. Well, I think it's important that we continue to evolve the process for protection for all employees, and that includes confidentiality and anonymity if they do have concerns.
Do you have any plans to resign?
No, I don't have any plans to resign. We've got 2.5 years left in this term, and we have a lot to accomplish.
Hey, the number 2, your right-hand man harassed this woman, yet another. Now we have multiples of women coming forward. What do you have to say to them? Wish you the best.
No plans to resign.
No plans to resign. We got 2 more years. That was a great meal at the Oakmont, by the way. Oakmont. Man, they serve some good stuff there.
Again, hat tip to Wish TV for actually chasing down this scumbag and asking questions. Where's the dumpster diving dork with the big ears over at Channel 13? And yes, I can say that because I've got big ears too. Now, again, I was on vacation down in the sticks. Did you and Boggs talk about the poetry yesterday night?
We dove into the poetry. Allison even read some of the specific poems that were mentioned in the Hogsett texts to his subordinates, which were a little salacious, I must say.
Well, listen, I think the response to that segment was so good, we're going to kind of do something similar to that here moving forward.
Okay.
Every hour on the show today, we're going to have poetry moments with AI Joe Hogsett.
Hammer and Nigel present Poetry Moments with Joe Hogsett.
Roses are red, vodka's clear. Tell that 24-year-old female staffer to put on that small white tank top I bought her for Christmas and bring me a beer.
Poetry Moments with Joe Hogsett.
Every hour on the Hammer and Nigel show, we're going to have poetry moments, thanks to the magic of AI.
Wow.
Matt Bear,
Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic after Harding into the south split. Delayed 2 minutes. Southbound 65, no delay here. We are moving a little bit, but we are starting to jam up from the north split down to Washington Street and then slow down to the south split. Northbound 65, slow through the construction. Raymond up to the south split. And eastbound 465 stop and go traffic. Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday's one hard-working candy bar. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar and get to it. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's 82 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. I've got my bets for tonight's game lined up. I'll tell you what they are next.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Mark Dietel, the only local real estate agent I'd trust to sell my home and find me a new one. How about Luke and Emma in Franklin? They found the perfect piece of land. They started building their dream home, but they did need to sell their old place to get the right price to fund that dream home. They hired the Mark Dietel team, got multiple offers, and the first weekend closed in 25 days. How about that?
Listen, you got a lot of options in the real estate game, but Mark Dietel separates himself from the competition with the guarantee. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's right, he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietel today. Mark Dietel, trusted by Hammer and Nigel. Call him today, 317-755-4232, or visit markdietel.com.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable, nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Got plans this weekend? Why not head to Honeysuckle Hill Bistro in Brazil, Indiana? Honeysuckle Hill Bistro is located inside our family's lakeside home. The menu changes weekly, and whether it's chicken to wine, we focus on serving Indiana-sourced items. One thing that's always on the menu is our version of the Hoosier breaded tenderloin sandwich. Can't decide what to order? You can order the Bites plate, where you get a sampling of everything that's on the week's menu. Honeysuckle Hill Bistro serves dinner Fridays and Saturdays 5 to 8 and Sunday brunch buffet from 11 to 2.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Ratings aren't so hot for the NBA Finals, Pacers and the Thunder. What do we attribute that to? I believe probably just two mid-market teams.
Right. Not a traditional NBA superstar by name. Like, they got the MVP. Oklahoma City does.
Yeah,
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But how many casual bandwagon basketball fans know who the MVP is this year? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How many of them know Tyrese Halliburton? Because the NBA, for so many years, they've just fed off of the signature stars. Like in the 80s, it was Magic and Bird. Then here comes Jordan. Then you got Kobe and Shaq and dudes like that. Now, we're at a time now where LeBron is kind of on the backside of his career. His team's not that great. So this is a finals where it's two really good, fun teams. One team's really good offensively. One team locks you down defensively. But the bandwagon casual person, you know, the guy that was a Heat fan that's now a Lakers fan because LeBron changed teams, that guy's probably not watching the finals.
He doesn't care. Now, degenerate gamblers are watching the finals.
I'm in. I am in.
You got a couple for me?
Well, first of all, your son is falling into that category. Connor might be featured on the next Degenerates Next Door.
I just got off the phone with my 13-year-old. I go, buddy, you got to tell me how much are we betting on the Pacers tonight to win? It's just money line. He goes, Pacers win. I go, how much? $1.02.
Yes. Let's go.
We're just dipping our toes into the water.
Got it.
We've won money line on the Pacers quite a bit.
You're playing with house money now, baby.
Yeah,
here's what I'm on tonight. Oklahoma City is a 5.5-point favorite. I'm not touching that game. But I got player bets. I am in on TJ McConnell over 10.5 points and assists combined. You can find that bet at a number of places. Combined points with assists over 10.5 because TJ's different at home. I think Rob Kendall says TJ McConnell at home is a broad ripple 8. When he goes on the road, it's a little lower. Give me Pascal Siakam over 19.5 points. If the Pacers are going to win, he's going to have to play well. I think he feeds off the crowd. Give me Spicy P over 19.5 and Tyrese Halliburton over 2.5 made three-pointers tonight.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to shoot them.
He didn't have a good game, though.
He's going to shoot them. We need him to make them. So that's all we're asking for is an opportunity. So those are the three that I got.
Injury on Halliburton, real quick, before we move on?
Looked like he was fine at the shoot-around. I know our pal Kevin Bowen took some video of him at practice and seemed to be walking around okay.
Okay, good.
So we'll take that.
All right.
So, Nigel, I'm going to do something to combine a couple different things that you love here. Because, again, this is a big game tonight. So we're going to combine your love for the Indiana Pacers and your love for Tucker Carlson. Here to preview Game 3 is AI Tucker Carlson.
Well, looks like there's a big game in Indianapolis tonight. The Pacers and the Thunder in a pivotal Game 3. I know this is a big game because Nigel is already drunk. Yes, the co-host of the #1 rated afternoon show is already drunk. Normally, he doesn't get drunk until after 7. I know this because Nigel will text me telling me how much he misses me on his television. Sometimes he'll even send me a photo of himself looking sad. And yes, sometimes those photos are of Nigel nude, holding a bottle of Jack Daniels. I'm not sure who is creepier, Joe Hogsett or Nigel. Anyway, I think the Pacers win tonight, but if I am the Pacers, I try to ensure that by calling up Donald Trump and telling him to have ICE deport Shai Gilgeous-Alexander back to Canada before the game. You can never be too sure. AI Tucker out.
See, there you go, Nige.
Oh,
bringing
I miss
all your
AI
loves
Tucker.
together.
Oh, my heart is warm.
Ice, if you're here, I'm just saying, he's from Canada. I don't know what his paperwork situation is, but
I want to double check.
Might want to double check. Yeah. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
You ever check that Social Security statement to see how much money you're getting in retirement? Guess what? That number could be a lot less or a lot more than the number on your statement. It's Hammer Nigel here for Bill Demery. You discover how you could get every penny. You need to squeeze every nickel that's rightfully yours for Social Security. You can find out with that free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy here in Indy. Give him a call at 317-648-5120.
So if you've saved more than $200,000, but you have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. This free analysis takes the guesswork out of filing for your benefits. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text TEAR to 369-369. That's TEAR to 369-369. TEAR to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024
Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Calling him just a beach boy would be an injustice. 78 outside in downtown Indianapolis. No rain on the radar. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. Brian Wilson has died.
Brian Wilson, the genius behind the Beach Boys, has died. He was 82 years old. Wilson helped create and define the sound of 1960s California with classics like Good Vibrations and California Girls and the groundbreaking album Pet Sounds. Despite a lifetime of struggles with mental illness, addiction, and family turmoil, he remained a visionary force in music, later returning to critical acclaim as a solo artist and performing full versions of Pet Sounds and Smile. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1988 and influenced generations of artists, including the Beatles. His family shared the news on Instagram, noting they're heartbroken, ending with a reference to his song of the same name, Love and Mercy. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
We are looking at hundreds of people. We have video. We have FBI collecting video. We are collecting body cam. We're collecting social media. We're collecting everything.
Bill Saley, U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California. Anti-ICE protests have continued in Los Angeles with President Trump deploying more troops in response to the situation. Fox's Jonathan Hunt.
We are still waiting for the Marines to get here. 700 of them have been deployed. We are told, by the way, that when those Marines get onto the streets of L.A., they will not have live ammunition in their rifles. In the meantime, Governor Gavin Newsom has once again been highly critical of the moves by President Trump to bring in the National Guard and the Marines. And Gavin Newsom, warned the country, this is not just about California. This is about the nation itself.
The name's being changed back, but not necessarily for the same people.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said it all at Fort Bragg.
It is Fort Bragg, isn't it?
Old name, new stories coming for 7 more military bases without the Confederate connections. President Trump restoring base names renamed by President Biden for new heroes. Fort Lee won't honor Confederate General Robert E. Lee, but Private Fitz Lee for bravery in the Spanish-American War. Therese Crowley, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, looking at southbound 65, 70 stop-and-go traffic from the north split down to the south split, delayed 3 minutes. Southbound 65 slows from 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop-and-go Harding into Meridian, Illinois, delayed 3 minutes. North side eastbound 465 slows Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. And inbound 69 stop-and-go from 106th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with a purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Cooling Weather Center.
Moving into Wednesday night, things are going to remain pretty quiet and mild, if not a little on the warm side early this evening, with low temperatures only hitting 63 by tomorrow morning, under partly cloudy skies and winds out the southwest. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8, meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Hammer's back. In case you've missed it, some rioting in L.A., the anti-ICE raid riots stemming from a raid at a Home Depot, I believe, last Friday. And
it started as a criminal investigation, right?
Yes, these aren't schoolhouse children that they're raiding and, deporting back. These are guys that have records, that are criminals, that they're going to get arrested and deporting. And now the city burns.
Correct.
Last night, there was a curfew imposed in L.A. at like 7 o'clock. Finally, after 5 nights of this crap, they put in a curfew.
Right. These people are building pipe bombs in the street. Do you really think they're going, it's 7 o'clock. Better get home before Mom gets mad.
And then people are, the Democrats, any left-wing prominent Democrat you can think of, from Pelosi to election denier Hakeem Jeffries to Newsom, the governor of California, to Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, are criticizing Donald Trump for sending in the National Guard without consulting with Gavin Newsom.
One of the things I see a lot on social media are the Never Trump folks saying, well, Donald Trump didn't call in the National Guard on January 6th, but he did it here. Like, everything always goes back to January 6th. Like, I feel like it's the guys in the barber shop in the movie Coming to America. Rocky Marciano! That's the one! That's the one they got! This is the one thing they've got is January 6th.
And I'm not even sure if it was within Trump's purview to... I mean, it was Nancy Pelosi that was in charge of all of that, and she decided not to do it.
And you can find this on like a 30-second Google search, that it was Pelosi's decision to say, screw it, let's let the chaos run wild because it makes Trump look bad. I'm paraphrasing there, but that's what you'll find. And now, like, people who I think are actually well-educated are going on social media, this is such hypocrisy, blah, blah. No, what's hypocrisy is you're trying to go back to January 6th, but there's something right in front of you right now that warrants your attention. Like, ICE wants to send some of these bad dudes back home. If you're going to go in the streets and blow something up or loot a store and then wave the Mexican flag, why are you upset? ICE just wants to send you back to the place where you're waving the flag from.
There had to have been somebody that's leading these protests and handing out American flags saying, hey, look, the optics might be just a little bit better if you wave the American flag on this. Because, you're here and, you're living here.
Right.
And instead they burn the American flag on camera and wave around the Mexican flag. Like it's their country.
And the man on the street interviews, this used to be Mexico. Mexico proud. All right, great. Knock yourself out. ICE wants to send you to the dream trip of your lifetime, back to Mexico. Like, what are you upset about? That's all they're trying to do here. It's almost, Nige, as if it's an organized attempt at just chaos because they got away with it in 2020.
I mean, look, you saw that footage in L.A. of somebody pulling up in a white van and dropping off those masks that cover your entire face.
Right.
That's not normal. That's not just like some random dude that went and picked up some stuff at a hardware store. Like these were professional grade gas masks that they were giving the rioters.
Like a big loading truck, pickup truck with all the supplies in the back.
What is that?
That's an organized protest. It's the same thing we saw back in 2020.
Organized riot.
Organized riot. It's a mostly peaceful riot. It's kind of like Jumbo Shrimp. Cancels each other out. Jumbo Shrimp, mostly peaceful riot. Ridiculous. Where are we at with Elon Musk? Kind of bending down to kiss the backside of Trump after their little feud here.
Well, let's go back and remind people. What happened first was that I believe Elon Musk criticized Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill.
Yes.
That he wants to get passed.
And listen, Elon makes some valid points. There's a lot of ridiculous spending and pork in this crap. Now, there are some good things, right? There are. But if you're going to be the Doge guy, you can't really support something that's adding trillions of dollars to the deficit. That's kind of, not your thing. So he ripped on the bill, and then Trump ripped on him, and then it was on.
And then the Epstein list was invoked.
On a tweet.
from Elon.
A now deleted tweet, by the way.
Yeah.
Which, come on. Don't be delete tweet guy. Delete tweet guy is the worst.
Well, he learned it by watching his followers.
I learned it by watching you.
That's what people on Twitter do. We don't do it.
Right. The only time I ever delete a tweet is if I've spelled something wrong and it's too late to go in and edit it.
Yeah.
Because I got the blue check mark now because, my God, dealing with the grammar people, it's worth the delete. Donald Trump did an interview with Miranda Devine on her new podcast, and he talked about mending fences and the relationship with Elon Musk.
Anything that you can do to forgive him? Could you see that happening?
Well, I have no hard feelings. I was really surprised that happened. He went after a bill that's phenomenal. It's the best thing we've ever signed in this country, and that's phase one. Phase two, phase three. All of a sudden, it all comes together. It's coming together so well. And when he did that, I was not a happy camper. So it's too bad.
Could you reconcile with him? Do you think? Could you forgive him?
I guess I could, but we have to straighten out the country.
Yeah.
And my sole function now is getting this country back to a level higher than it's ever been.
It's like listening to Taylor Swift talk about Taylor Lautner at this point. Like, I don't care if you're friends or not.
Right. And
Fix this crap.
And Trump doesn't care if you're friends or not.
Right.
Trump doesn't care. That's a good point. I don't care if they're friends or not. Miranda Devine, who is part of the Hunter Biden laptop thing, the discovery there, along with our friend Emma Jo Morris, has her own podcast, apparently. Nobody cares about your friendship anymore. Just get crap done.
Cut the crap and get stuff done. Miss Allison, hit me with some legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
A Catholic school teacher who was fired after it was uncovered that she is on OnlyFans.
Oh, no.
Is now suing the dad that found her out. So this is a Catholic school teacher, and she is on OnlyFans. She's a very attractive woman, but she's on OnlyFans, which I think she was trying to keep it a secret because it might not be Catholic school friendly. Well, there is a student's dad who is a big fan of OnlyFans, and he found the teacher on there. Well, the dad was also married. The wife didn't like the fact that he found the school teacher on there and may have found the nudes or whatever she put out there. So the wife tells the school, and the school then fires the teacher, and now the teacher is suing the dad for telling the wife who told the school.
So leaking the content. Her OnlyFans content got leaked to this teacher, and now she got fired. Now she's suing.
The wife was the tattletale in all of this, and the dude who simply just wanted to pay to see her boobies is now being sued.
I'm sure there has to be some sort of policy in the Catholic rule book, not necessarily condoning the types of things that go on OnlyFans.
Have we heard from the new Pope on this yet?
I haven't heard from the new Pope, a ruling on the Pope on OnlyFans. Well, we're still waiting for that. But if it's a private Catholic school, they can set the rules however they want.
Right.
Which is weird, which I hate, too, because some of these Catholic schools have fired the teachers who do, like, in vitro fertilization and stuff like that.
Correct.
Which I don't like that at all. But, it's a private school, so,
they could have fundraisers where they have beer gardens and gambling, but the hot teacher who's doing a side hustle that has nothing to do with the school, she puts herself out there to make some supplemental income, she gets fired. I think that sucks. I mean, it's not like she was filming things in the school. This was all on her own, in her own home. Like, Nige, if you found out one of your kids' teachers was on OnlyFans, was great with the kids, never included the kids, never did anything at school, but she did some stuff on OnlyFans, would you have a problem with it?
I would probably have to contact her and ask her how much she charged.
Thank you. Good answer. Before we hit a break here.
That was a really bad answer.
Oh, that's a great answer.
That was an awful answer.
It's an honest answer. That's the right answer.
It's not an honest answer.
It's the right answer. All afternoon here, we're celebrating Joe Hogsett and his affinity for poetry.
Did you hear any of the poetry that we read?
I did.
Yesterday, the actual poems that Joe Hogsett were referencing in some of these texts to his subordinates, his underlings.
Right.
Were pretty, what word did I use? Salacious?
Salacious.
All right. And it was hilarious.
Right.
I mean, it's like...
And he's such a creep. You're so old. Stop it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he's texting her Shel Silverstein poems, right?
Yeah, okay. I have no idea who that is.
You don't know who Shel... Did I say it right? Shel Silverstein?
Yeah, he writes a lot of kids' poems.
Yeah, the kids. You don't know who Shel Silverstein is? You didn't grow up with that at school?
No.
That was a good reference, Nigel.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well, they all can't be Shel Silverstein. Here with a poetry moment is AI Joe Hogsett.
Hammer and Nigel present Poetry Moments with Joe Hogsett.
One of my favorite poems is actually the theme song to the TV show The Love Boat. Love. Exciting and new. I'm a 68-year-old vodka-drinking mayor at 3 in the morning. Texting you.
Come on, Joe.
The Love Mayor.
Yeah.
Soon I will be making a run for you.
Poetry Moments
there it is.
with Joe Hogsett.
All throughout the afternoon, Poetry Moments with AI Joe Hogsett.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Caesar Sportsbook down at the big casino in Shelbyville. Man, that's the place to watch these NBA Finals tonight, 8:30, Game 3. It's going to be rocking in there. And you can make all of your wagers right there. Touchstone kiosk. You can get it right there. Anything you want to bet on, it's one simple step away from wherever you're sitting at. Anywhere you turn around, you can get a drink. The food at the Caesars Sportsbook, top notch. Our guy Bobby's in there cooking up those wings, the big onion rings. They're fantastic. I'm telling you, we were there last week and might be heading there again soon. Make it a casino night. Horseshoe Casino Indy. It's in Shelbyville and inside Caesars Sportsbook. Stop by, watch the game. Amazing atmosphere. Be sure to tell everybody you got sent there from the Hammer and Nigel show.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Breaking news updates, local headlines, and statewide coverage are always available at WIBC.com. When the news moves fast, we will too. Stay in the know while you're on the go with WIBC.com.
What's up, Matt?
Looking at eastbound 70 Hammer stop and go traffic from Belmont into the South Split Head. Coming into downtown, I would use the collector right now if you're getting down for the finals game a little bit early. Southbound 6570 on the main part to Greenwood. That stopped from the North Split down to the South Split, and we have a serious delay time there. Inbound 65 also stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn, and eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
83 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Before I want to get to your damn nature, you scary moment you had in Kentucky here in just a second. Real quick, though. Can I just hear the AI Joe Hogsett version of him singing the Love Boat theme song one more time? I was not expecting that. I took a drink of my tea at the very wrong time and started choking, so I may have missed a little bit. Just start from there.
You know, one of my favorite poems is actually the theme song to the TV show The Love Boat. Love. Exciting and new. I'm a 68-year-old vodka-drinking mayor at 3 in the morning. Texting you. The Love Mayor. Soon I will be making a run for you.
There it is.
Oh, man.
All through the afternoon.
Look, he likes to text his subordinates poetry recommendations.
He likes to send those late at night, but in the afternoon, every hour today, we will have at least one poetry moment featuring old Boss Hogsett.
Now, what happened on your hike in Kentucky? Because I started dying laughing, but I need some context. Your wife posted about it on Facebook. You were hiking somewhere in Kentucky and had an incident.
Daniel Boone National Forest.
Ah, okay.
Love that place. A beautiful place. Lots of waterfalls, tons of animals, you know. So we're doing a hiking trail. My youngest loves to do these hikes and trails, right? So we're on like a little trail, and I'm kind of looking back, talking to Jacob. I'm in the front. I'm kind of not really paying attention. We're talking about the Pacers. We're talking WWE stuff, just BSing. There was a snake that had just jumped out in front of me. And by the time I turned around, I saw this long, gray little bastard just turn and go,
oh.
And it turned his head and slithered in a sideways kind of back through the woods. It was right in front of me.
It hissed at you? It made a noise?
Well, puts that tongue out, turns around and yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I probably scared it, but I wasn't ready for that. So I turned around and then,
Was there an audible scream?
I'm surprised all the birds in the forest didn't fly away at that point. Seriously, I jumped back. I was just so startled by this little rotten snake from hell.
Yeah, which again was probably more afraid of you.
Totally. And I thought Crystal was going to pee her pants. She was laughing so hard at me.
I'd give anything to have that on tape.
Had I seen it in front of me, I'd been like, "Oh, snake ahead." Let's.
I believe the crazy coupon lady described it as you pooped your pants.
We were close. There was some clenching. There was some cheek clenching.
You go behind a tree and take the boxers off and just leave them behind.
That's what nature wants, right? Fertilizing the forest.
Yeah, it's good for it.
But no, man, that startled the bejesus out of me. It's like something out of a haunted house, right? You're walking along, then all of a sudden, boom, here comes a ghost or something that pops out of nowhere. Or a guy with a butcher knife. Just scares the hell out of you.
Well, we went hiking up in the hills in San Diego when I went there to visit my buddy a couple years ago, and he had his dog with him. And he always takes his dog with him because there's rattlers up there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We didn't see any, but he's seen rattlers before walking up there. That's real. That ain't no gray garden snake crossing a path in Kentucky.
There are bobcats up in those parts of the forest, though. So you almost got to pack some heat. You got to pack something if you're going in there, man. It's pretty wild. But it was beautiful country. Glad we went, and we'll have to go back soon.
Cool, man.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
With a B&W Premier Club membership, you'll stay ahead of breakdowns and costly repairs. Our members get routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts, saving you money and keeping your family comfortable all season long. Visit bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108 for more information.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Hammer here from my friends at Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing, right up there by that green bridge. And listen, it's graduation open house season. Schools have had their graduations, and now it's time to get the gift for the graduate. And the place you want to go is Diamonds Direct. They got something for guys, they got something for girls. Whether you're into watches, whether you're into rings or pendants, whatever it is, they will fit something in your price range. They will work with you, and there's no pressure to spend more than you've got. The sales staff is amazing. The management is top-notch. I get my stuff there. I'm telling you, you should too. Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Tired of hard water stains, dry skin, or smelly water? Well or City Water, C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, gives you softer water, cleaner drinking water, with no more taste and odor issues thanks to a high-efficiency water softener, advanced water treatment, and reverse osmosis systems. Make every drop in your home pure, fresh, and worry-free. Best prices of the year right now with C&J's Well Water Bundles and City Water Bundles. C&J for great systems, great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
Pat Sullivan here with exciting news from my friends at Hope Plumbing, now known as Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Hope now offers plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services, bringing total comfort to your home. No more dealing with multiple home service memberships. For only $8 a month, Hope is now your one-stop for safety and maintenance inspections and so much more. Make sure you're prepared for those Indiana summer heat waves with an AC tune-up by calling Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
For service today?
Today.
Hey, Wings Etc. fans, guess what? June 9th through 15th is Wings Schooner Madness. We're rolling back prices on award-winning wings and big ice cold schooners to just 59 cents for wings and $5 for domestic schooners. Dine in only. Mark your calendars for June 9th through 15th and get great deals on wings and domestic schooners when you dine in for Wings Schooner Madness. June 9th through 15th, only at your local Wings Etc. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub with 15 Central Indiana locations. Online at wingsetc.com.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out a variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tamara and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Riots won't stop the raids. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That bottom line at the White House after 5 nights of immigration raid protests turning violent in L.A.
And let this be an unequivocal message to left-wing radicals in other parts of the country who are thinking about copycatting the violence in an effort to stop this administration's mass deportation efforts. You will not succeed.
White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt also defending deployment of National Guard and Marines, saying the president had to step in, accusing the Democratic mayor and governor of failing to defend their city and state. Democrats, though, keep criticizing the president's response.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he's proud of California Governor Gavin Newsom, who he says is standing up to President Trump by fighting his decision to send the National Guard to deal with anti-ICE protests that have turned violent.
President Trump is trying to intimidate Gavin Newsom. He said he has shown he's not going to be intimidated, and we're all for that.
Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries have expressed confidence in Newsom's response, but when pressed by Fox News Radio about journalists who've been injured by police, Jeffries says it's important to, quote, make sure that the free and fair press have an opportunity to cover these events without being impeded by law enforcement.
Fox's Ryan Schmaltz on Capitol Hill. The White House just confirming the U.S. is drawing down personnel deemed non-essential to Middle East operations because of the potential for regional unrest. This as tensions rise as nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran appear to have hit an impasse. The State Department ordering all non-essential personnel to leave the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, also allowing other personnel and family members to leave Bahrain and Kuwait. The defense chief authorizing the voluntary departure of military civilian dependents in the region. Stocks turn lower, the Dow down a point at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's now just hours away. Rain is not something you'll have to worry about if you're headed downtown tonight. It's 82 right now on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
I was visiting some college mates. I was meant to go home Monday, and I extended my trip so I could come to the game tonight.
Pacers fan Patrick says when the opportunity of a lifetime presents itself, like attending an NBA Finals game when your favorite team is playing, you do what it takes to go. You probably hear that accent. Patrick is from Australia and has been a diehard Pacers fan since the early 2010s.
I grew up watching the Pacers. They're so fun to watch, this team especially.
He's Gabe. Meanwhile, IMPD acknowledges a planned ICE protest outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse and says they are on top of the situation. Jeremy Cashman, the infrastructure officer for Carmel, has been fired by Mayor Sue Finkham. Cashman was arrested in May on domestic abuse charges, and the city did its own review. Mayor Joe Hogsett says he's staying put despite several calls for his resignation over the sexual harassment situation.
And we've got 2.5 years left in this term, and we have a lot to accomplish.
Talking to Wish TV. A fatal wreck in Terre Haute over the weekend. Jarrett Lewis reports on the fallout.
The Vigo County School Corporation identifying the 2 teenagers killed in that car crash from over the weekend in Terre Haute as Avery Sullivan and Tamaya O'Quinn. Police say an SUV was speeding through stop signs with people hanging out the sunroof and windows before it collided with a pickup truck. Sullivan and O'Quinn died as a result. A few other passengers in the SUV were also injured, and the driver of the pickup sustained minor injuries. Officers arrested the driver of that SUV, 30-year-old Misty Casey. She now faces multiple felony charges, including neglect of a dependent, resulting in serious bodily injury and causing death when operating a vehicle while intoxicated.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right. Here it is, Chris. Looking in Boone County, northbound 65 at Lebanon exit 138. This is a serious crash. 2 vehicles involved. It looks like a semi collided with a sedan. And again, all lanes blocked. Traffic is getting by on the left shoulder, but that's creating an awful backup right now. 2 State Road 260, 734-minute delay just to make that short stretch. East side crash, northbound 465 at Penn Pike, blocking the left lane, slowing traffic back to I-70. Southbound 6570, the construction delay, 11 minutes from the north split to the south split. Eastbound 70 delay 3 minutes from Harding into the south split. North side eastbound 465 slow from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Payday Packed with Peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hard-working candy bar. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Wednesday evening, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, low temperatures around 63 degrees, and winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be on the partly cloudy side of things, temperatures warm near 90. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renard Sudas, 493 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it. Hammer, are you buying any of these rumors that there's going to be some sort of demonstration, some sort of disruption outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse tonight? These anti-ICE raids that have been happening in L.A. are spreading across the country. There's rumors that there's going to be some sort of demonstration tonight or today or like at 7 o'clock, I think, is when it's supposed to start. There was some sort of tweet or something from some group here in the city.
I'm not buying too much of it, man. We reached out to our friends, and we have different people that work in law enforcement. We each texted our contacts. They didn't seem too concerned about it. And let's be honest, I don't think the protesters want the smoke of rowdy Pacer fans heading into the first NBA Finals for the first time since, 2000.
Yeah. If there's maybe some designated area where there's 12 people holding up signs and they're not blocking traffic, I don't...
Like, what's considered a successful protest? Because, even during the Indy 500 Festival Parade, and I remember this because, Allison, you were on the circle for it when the Home and Garden Show broadcast. You've got the pro-Jesus people, you've got the anti-abortion people, and they've got really graphic signs, right?
No, that was at this year's parade.
Oh, yeah.
Those pro-life people that hold up those graphic signs,
right,
with the pictures of the procedures.
Correct.
I don't like you people.
Putting them around kids.
I don't like that. All right. I don't like abortion, but I don't like that either.
You're not helping the cause.
I don't like that at all, and I don't care whether or not you have a problem with that. That stuff's wrong. If I have to walk around downtown and see that crap with those people holding up those signs
at an event designed for families and kids,
yes,
the 500 parade. So you're going to see like the big float come by,
sure,
your favorite race car drivers, and then behind a bunch of kids that are waving and doing all this stuff, you're going to have some dude with a gross sign with just horrible, grotesque pictures on it. I'm not saying that's not what happens when you have that procedure, but read the room. I mean, come on. Nobody wants to see that crap there. You're right. I'm with you on this one, Nige. Chicago, New York, also starting to see mostly peaceful window breaks, mostly peaceful officer attacks taking place.
Mostly peaceful, professionally commercial-grade fireworks fired at officers.
Mostly peaceful bricks thrown at vehicles from overpasses.
See the guy with the sledgehammer, like he's slamming the sledgehammer on the concrete sidewalk and then taking that concrete and throwing it at police officers.
Right. At least one of these dudes in L.A., an illegal immigrant, has been charged with attempted murder.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Pam Bondi was fired up.
And she should have been.
And the attorney general said, we found him. We know who he is. He's getting charged with attempted murder. And hopefully, once he gets out, he's deported. That's what a lot of these deportations are. These are violent criminals that are out on the street that have served their time but have not gone home. And these ICE raids are going to get those guys and saying, yeah, no, you should have left after you got out of prison for your violent crime.
The other thing that I'm noticing right now is that the same group of people, it's the exact same group that told you Joe Biden's fine. He's sharp. He's witty. Behind the scenes, he's energetic. He's doing P90X. Oh, you're not going to believe Joe Biden. The same people that told you that. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I wasted $80 on it. I never even opened the package. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
The same people that told you Joe Biden was so healthy he could do that are now telling you, well, these are not really riots. I mean, it's mostly peaceful.
Yeah. They're only on certain streets in Los Angeles.
Right.
A couple side streets.
Here's a little montage to back up our claim that the same people that told you Joe Biden's fine are now lying right to your face when we can all see what's happening.
Carrying a flag is not illegal, as you know. What did happen in 1992 was so different from what we're seeing now. That was a real riot.
Video after video has shown that these agents are the ones provoking protesters and also making up, aggression by these protesters that later video shows people were not aggressive.
We are having an administration that's targeting peaceful protests, people that are there to protest. The president is sending the National Guard because he doesn't like the scenes. He doesn't like the scenes of people peacefully protesting.
You know, you've heard reports that there are riots on the streets of Los Angeles. That is not what's happening across the city of Los Angeles.
Governor Newsom's right. There wasn't anything like a riot happening on Friday, Saturday.
No, I don't think the National Guard is needed now. Things in L.A. are calm. There was a protest that got a little unruly.
What is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn.
I played that one. That last one yesterday was hilarious. That reporter for the ABC affiliate in Los Angeles said, hey, I just want to warn police officers. These guys are just out there having fun watching the cars burn, okay?
I have a follow-up question. Why are they on fire? Love you guys, but I have a question. Why are they on fire?
These Democrats haven't learned one thing. They
No.
haven't learned a lesson. They haven't learned. I mean, that guy, again, at the end, just, I want to warn. The warning wasn't for the rioters that could go to jail or be killed, or the warning was for the police officers. Hey, these guys, look, there's a couple cars that have been flipped over. They're on fire. They're laughing. They're having fun. Maybe why don't you just lay off?
Right. And it's your fault, law enforcement, that this is really turned up.
It's Trump's fault. It's the National Guard's fault. It's the police officers' fault.
That was a mostly peaceful pipe bomb on the highway. And I don't know why you guys have a problem with it. The other one that I love to see is, well, 99% of Los Angeles is doing just fine. It's this 1%, and everybody's making a big deal about it. Yeah, that's like saying, well, my girlfriend's just a little pregnant. The rest of her, not pregnant. But, boy, there's a little bit that's pregnant of her.
My girlfriend's only cheating on me a little bit, like once every 2 weeks.
Right. Jeff Boggs put out a tweet earlier. OJ didn't kill 99% of the people that he was involved with, but there was that 1%. Mostly peaceful OJ. And somehow, out of this whole crazy thing going on with the Democrats now, where they're expecting us not to believe things with our own eyes, the voice of reason out of all of this has been John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. He's gone from being the lunatic dude who opened a debate by saying, hi, good night, everybody.
His stroke was, a factor in that Senate race for sure.
And now he's kind of the voice of reason, where people are saying, hell, maybe this could be the nominee in a couple years from now. Fetterman puts this on Twitter, quote, I unapologetically stand for free speech, peaceful demonstrations, and immigration, but this is not that. This is anarchy and true chaos. My party loses the moral high ground when we refuse to condemn setting cars on fire, destroying buildings, and assaulting law enforcement.
I mean, when you throw concrete cinder blocks at the heads of law enforcement, federal law enforcement, local law enforcement, that could be construed as, you could break out a gun for that one, right? Yeah. You could break out some lethality. If you're dropping stuff off overpasses, closing down one of the biggest interstate freeways in the nation, the 101 there in Los Angeles, and then dropping Molotov cocktails off the top of the bridge onto police officers and cars. The word sniper comes to mind.
Right.
Sorry. Just the way I feel about it.
I tell you what, these are some really serious subjects that we've been talking about right now.
It is.
What we need is to all take a step back, decompress, and have another poetry moment with AI Joe Hogsett.
Hammer and Nigel present Poetry Moments with Joe Hogsett.
Roses are red, and they're grown in Montana. Was it wrong to make female staffers in my office play a game called Hide the Banana?
Poetry Moments with Joe Hogsett.
Did you hear that, Allison? Hide the banana. Did you catch that?
Oh, man. Old Hogsett loved to send some poetry.
That's the kind of stuff he would send to Matt Bear about 3:40 in the morning.
Checking my phone right now. Looking at Boone County, crash northbound 65 at Lebanon exit 138. Okay, this was a semi and a sedan colliding, and right now everything has been pushed to the right shoulder, so this is very good. Traffic is still stopped back to State Road 267 for a 51-minute delay, and now that we have some lanes open, hopefully this will subside. On the east side, northbound 465 at Penn Pike, that's a crash. It's pushed out of the interstate to the left shoulder. Traffic slow back to I-70. Those southbound lanes also tied after Penn Pike past I-70. Looking at southbound 65 stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn. The construction delay southbound 65-70 jam from the north split down to the south split, and that is a 16-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown after Harding into the south split. Traffic sponsored by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hard-working candy bar, so grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar, get to it. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here in about 15 minutes, Rick Snyder, president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 86, will join us. We'll see if he's heard anything about protests at the Pacers game tonight or maybe this weekend, and overall what he's seeing in Los Angeles. Plus, Rick just met with Donald Trump and Pam Bondi in Washington. So he's got some stories to tell us. That's coming up here about 4:35. It's 83 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Right now, we need 57 people to jump to the WIBC YouTube page and give us a like. That would get us to 100. The quicker you can get us to 100, the more likely the Pacers will win tonight. Don't be the reason the Pacers lose tonight. Go to WIBC's YouTube page, find the stream of the Hammer and Nigel show, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, get us to 100. We need 57 awesome, badass, sexy Hoosiers. Let's go.
The guys at Galaxy Concrete Coatings are busy, so that's why you got to book your project now to get it done in time so you can enjoy it for the summer. Whether we're talking about a garage floor coating, a concrete basement coating, pool deck, any indoor-outdoor area concrete Galaxy Coatings, as far as I'm concerned, are the best in the business. They came in and worked a miracle with my garage floor. In a day, went from cracked and stained and old and uneven to this just beautiful flooring that's now coated with polyurea. Check out their website, get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable, nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Have recent storms caused damage to your roofing or siding? Cochran Exteriors is now offering free inspections to assess the condition of your home, from blown-offs to full replacements. Cochran Exteriors knows the insurance process and will make your home as good as new as fast as possible. Trust a company that was here before the storm and will be long after. For your free, no-obligation consultation, schedule today at CochranExteriors.com or call 317-ROOFING. Cochran Exteriors, referred for a reason for over 15 years.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, easy, free. Search at indianaunclaimed.gov.
Dateline, Ohio. In Ohio, the owner of a raccoon that was found in a car with meth pipes say that she will not be giving up her pet. Remember this story? The police went up to a car, and there was a raccoon in the car with the woman, and the raccoon had a meth pipe in its mouth. The owner now says, you cannot separate me from my meth-smoking raccoon. She's afraid that it's going to end up getting euthanized if they have some sort of separation.
Yeah.
Here is some audio from that officer's body cam during the arrest where he stumbles on a raccoon with multiple meth pipes.
The reason I stopped you is you are suspended with a warrant for your arrest.
I am?
The raccoon has her meth pipe.
As what?
Oh my God.
Her meth pipe. He's playing with the meth pipe right now. Oh, there's no... He's trying to smoke it.
All right. Thanks.
There's no way. All right. Enough fun and games.
Oh, yeah, this is something. And there's a part of my heart that wants to give this woman a little grace. She's very scared that her pet raccoon that was smoking meth is going to get euthanized. Any feelings whatsoever on that, Hammer? I
feelings on you for having sympathy to this woman. So it's okay for the raccoon to smoke meth and like maybe have a heart attack and die, but I don't want to have it get separated where it might go somewhere and die.
But there are places that take these kinds of animals, and I know this for a fact.
Animal rehab?
Yeah, animal rehab.
Is that where Hogsett was?
Our good friends of the show, actually, Dylan and Melody, they live on a farm, and they came across in their barn a litter of skunks, baby skunks, no mother. What do you do? What do you do with 5 or 6 skunks? They had no clue what to do. Dylan's from Texas. He had a couple clues.
Sure.
As to what to, but they didn't want to get close to him. They found, no joke, a lady around the Boone County area that fosters possums and skunks. And so they took this litter of skunks.
I'm guessing she's single.
So
I could be wrong. My first hunch is that she's single.
Maybe the skunk lady could take in this raccoon while this woman who had the meth problem gets help, and they could be reunited. It's all I'm saying.
So for those scoring at home, in a story where a raccoon is smoking meth, the biggest problem you have is that it might get separated from the owner.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
All right. We try to keep the owner and the animal together as much as possible. The owner gets help. The raccoon gets rehabilitated off meth. And there is such a thing as, they're calling, Melody was saying, they foster possums and skunks.
You're soft on drug-smoking animals. You're the Ryan Mears of drug-smoking animals, Nige. Is this anything? A mother is trending because she created a formula to calculate a mom's libido.
Oh, really? Let me write this down.
Here is Maddie breaking it down for everybody.
Welcome to Mom Libido 101. Here's the basics of the formula. The amount she slept last night, plus how much food she's eaten today, sitting down, times the amount of help her partner gave her, divided by the annoying comments, minus the number of times she was touched by her children today. So let's run through an example, shall we? Let's say Mom got 8 hours of sleep last night, she ate 3 full meals, her partner did pick up and bath time, but he was really annoying twice. Then we have to subtract by the 1,000 times that she was touched today. Does anyone know what the answer is? Not a chance.
Oh, I know this formula all too well. She didn't have to break it down for me. Let me tell you, I'll give you a hint, guys. If you can just be of help around the house, if you can not get home from work, plop down on the couch, and crack open 5 beers while the wife does all the cooking and the laundry and gathering the kids, like I used to.
Correct.
It's a game changer. What was I doing the other day? And my wife said I'd never looked so sexy. I think I was like sweeping out the bathroom or something like that.
Wiping your butt.
I had a broom. No, I had a broom in my hand at some point. And she goes, I've never seen anything more sexy. So guys, just an advice, that libido formula, now as far as the sleep is concerned and the food, I don't know how many times she's been touched by her kids, whatever. But, guys, I'm just telling you, I know this for a fact. If you can be a help around the house and not just be a lurch.
Right.
Which I've been known to do, self-admittedly, things could change there with the libido.
The next time she comes home from like a business trip, because I know your wife travels quite a bit.
Yes.
When she opens the door, I want you to have the Mr. Clean outfit on. The all-white Mr. Clean, maybe a bald cap and a broom.
Yes. Oh, I'm getting some that night for sure, baby.
It is on like Donkey Kong, baby.
Your financial portfolio is probably somewhere in your head right now, just rolling around. With the markets the way they are and the changing fiscal policy, now is the time to check on your money. Let the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth handle that review in its entirety, the second opinion, if you will. Matt Bear here. Hey, I'm working with Trajan, and the experience has given me a sense of financial security. It's the way they've talked to me, gotten to know me. I feel like family. Call today and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. The first appointment is free. Trajan works with you in designing a portfolio tailored to your timeline and future. They're all about having a good plan and making smart investments. Call today, 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. That's 317-480-4040. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best. But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911. Capability Now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
My sister's not breathing. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in- and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
If you're headed downtown,
You've got no rain to worry about. Radar is all clear, and it's expected to stay that way. You've got 82 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. A flyer circulating says a protest against ICE raids is planned outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse tonight. Indianapolis Metro Police say they are aware of the situation and are on top of it. Meanwhile, Democrats criticize President Trump and defend the response from California leaders after that crackdown on protests in L.A. Fox's Ryan Schmelz.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he's proud of California Governor Gavin Newsom, who he says is standing up to President Trump by fighting his decision to send the National Guard to deal with anti-ICE protests that have turned violent.
President Trump is trying to intimidate Gavin Newsom. He said he has shown he's not going to be intimidated, and we're all for that.
Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries have expressed confidence in Newsom's response, but when pressed by Fox News Radio about journalists who've been injured by police, Jeffries says it's important to, quote, make sure that the free and fair press have an opportunity to cover these events without being impeded by law enforcement. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Meth, an arrest, and a motorcycle. John Herrick on what happened Tuesday night in Steuben County.
Alan Jones of Angola was on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. State Police Sergeant Wes Rollator says a trooper tried to stop Jones for speeding, but he refused. And then when he got off his motorcycle and ran, he threw meth away from himself right in front of the trooper.
Obviously, trying to throw things away from a scene when the trooper's right there watching doesn't always work because it makes it a little easier to find.
Didn't work for Jones in this case either. He was arrested on several charges, including dealing and possessing meth.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, I'm looking at Maryland Street downtown, and game day traffic has us backed up from Meridian Street all the way out to the zoo on the west side, so it's going to be a drag as you come into eastbound Washington, Maryland right now to Cambridge. Also southbound West Street jammed up from the 65 ramps down to Maryland Street. And southbound 65-70 jammed. North split down to the south split delayed 16 minutes. Westbound 70 slow into the north split interchange from rural. Inbound 65 stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn, and eastbound 70 delayed 5 minutes from Harding into the south split south side. Northbound 65 stop and go traffic Southport Road up to 465 because of construction. East side northbound 465 slow from 70 to Penn Pike because of an earlier crash that has cleared. Southbound lanes loaded from 70 down to Brookville Road. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Moving into Wednesday night, things are going to remain pretty quiet and mild, if not a little on the warm side early this evening, with low temperatures only hitting 63 by tomorrow morning under partly cloudy skies and winds out the southwest. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8, meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
Rick Snyder is the president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 86. Rick joins us now. Rick, before we get into a lot of nuts and bolts of everything riot and law enforcement and all that kind of stuff. Have you heard anything at all about a potential demonstration at the Pacers game tonight?
Yeah, guys, we're aware of the same public statements that have been put out by IMPD acknowledging that. We've been able to make contact with our law enforcement leaders both in Indianapolis but also with our Indiana State Police. And I just want to stress this from a law enforcement perspective, and as constitutional law enforcement officers, we first and foremost always will protect the rights of people to peaceably assemble and petition their government for redress of grievances. But, guys, that's not what we've been seeing around the nation, right? No. And what's been occurring in L.A. and other parts. And if you think about it, the last time we talked and multiple other times we've been speaking out publicly, we have warned that all of this was coming back and that it is the same radical agenda-driven groups whose real focus, guys, is simply on Marxist and communist principles. They're fueled by shadow funding with professional anarchists, and their sole focus, to be honest with you, is the destruction of America. And that's why we've got to be so focused, not on peaceful protesters and people with legitimate grievances to their government, but focused on these radical anarchists who are opportunists that seize those types of protests, hijack them, and then bring destruction upon the communities in which they occur.
Rick, how much pressure does this put on, like, the IMPD, for example? Because the last time we had to deal with this type of stuff where riots were taking place that were being told peaceful protest, the mayor puts together this fact-finding commission. Some group in New Jersey does a report, comes back and blames the police for it. So it feels like, there's a lot of pressure on IMPD when it comes to these kind of things.
Well, guys, you have to remember this, and we are blessed. IMPD is the best in the business when it comes to this. But it's only when they're allowed to enforce the laws as the city has professionally trained them to do. I mean, think about it. We just had the Indy 500, about 500,000 people attending the largest sporting event in the world, immediately followed by an NBA playoff game, all while law enforcement continued to provide neighborhood service to 1 million plus population. And there was no property destruction, no injuries, no loss of life. So again, our chief, our superintendent, I'm confident this governor are all prepared to step in and act if need be. But guys, this is the real point. It's never about the capability of the police. It's frankly about the testicular fortitude of our politicians. So the question is this: will our politicians try to play police again, but then turn tail and hide when things escalate? That's the test, and that's why it's so important that we outline what our expectations are for our local elected leaders now, before it occurs, not after.
Rick, do you think that this is going to escalate, though, is the question here? Because I feel like since 2020, there's been plenty of rumors, plenty of days like this, plenty of conversations we've had over the past 5 years. Oh, this group's getting together. Oh, look at what they posted on Twitter. Oh, look at this, look at that, and it's never really, ever since 2020, risen to that level. I hope I'm right. But do you think this is more just bluster? Do you think this is more these groups wanting people to be afraid to come downtown?
Take a look at what's going on around your nation right now, Nigel. It's escalating. Think about it. First, we were told it was about what lives matter. Then we were told it was about LGBTQI+++. Then we were told it was about pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas. We had Jews assassinated in D.C. We've had Jews set on fire in Colorado. And now we're told it's all about pro-illegal aliens, all while being fueled by open borders, fentanyl overdoses through the roof, and terrorists within our homeland. I would suggest to you this: Americans are exhausted, and they've come to realize that it's really about being anti-police, anti-Constitution, anti-family, anti-Semitism, anti-American, and anti-God. And guys, as a firm believer, I think you got to start looking at when these people are chanting about what rights they support. Don't forget, it's really anti-religious rights, anti-women's rights, anti-sovereign rights, and anti-property rights. And again, as a firm believer, I would suggest to you it's really about being anti-Christ. So Nigel, in response, I think the question becomes, what are we going to do about it? To your point, I think the question that everybody has is it going to be plywood season in Indy again? Our local major cities, our states, and our nation seem to be under attack. So do we return to the death and destruction of 2020, or do we uphold the law and restore order in 2025? Can we not all agree right now that vandalism, violence, and attacks on officers are never acceptable? And that's why we've got to demand our expectations of our local leaders now.
Chatting with Rick Snyder, president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 86. What are you seeing in terms of policing out in L.A.? I know you're not there on the scene, but you've been watching this stuff just like we have, Rick. What do you think about the policing efforts they've done in Los Angeles?
Well, I think you've seen this dichotomy, right? You've seen a major city police department that has had failed politicians shove their officers to the front line to bear the brunt of the violent riots over laws that the officers never created. They don't have anything to do with that. Their job is to be peacekeepers, period. Yet they're thrown into the middle of this, hamstrung and handcuffed, and then left to fight the fight and pick up the pieces. Thank God we now have a leader of the nation that is at least willing to back them up and provide them with the support and the service that they need to help protect lives, protect property, and really restore and uphold the law. So I think when you look at that, you now have to say, what are we seeing in New York City? What are we seeing in Chicago? What are we seeing in Atlanta? What are we going to see in Indianapolis? I pray that here in Indianapolis, our professional police officers will be allowed by our politicians to do what they are trained to do, and again, uphold the law and restore order.
Rick, you talk about the national leadership. You had a chance to meet with the leader of this nation, President Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi recently. I looked at the photos, like you're right there. You're having conversations with arguably the most powerful man in the world. Walk me through what that was like.
Yeah, guys, we had the opportunity to have a sit-down meeting with President Trump and Attorney General Bondi. It was myself and peers like mine from major city FOPs from around the nation. We really stepped through many threat assessments that we're currently facing in policing and law enforcement around our nation. But we also talked about the revolving door of criminal justice. We're standing firm on that. And, you know, nobody understands rogue prosecutors and activist judges better than this president. So one thing I have kept stressing to you guys, on air and off air, but also to everyone I have talked to, we have got to come to grips with your criminal justice system has been hijacked. If you don't believe me, just take a look at the courts and the judge shopping that's going on all around the nation, depending on what desired outcome you want. They go to a Democrat judge or a Republican judge. Our question and what we talked about is how about a balanced judge who's blinded to politics, who has a focus on firm, fair, and consistent application of the law. That is what is needed. And guys, it's now is the time, because these next steps for our communities are critically important. In Indianapolis, we must have, in the state of Indiana, a recall option for our prosecutors and judges. They're not above reproach, and they should be subject to the will of the people. You got to hear this, and I want your audience to hear this. We have bad stuff coming our way. The domestic and international over-the-horizon threat picture, it is not good. So the question becomes, how do we leverage the technology, AI, expanding our energy availability and infrastructure security so that our immediate and long-term needs are met? And guys, I'm not talking about speed cams and red light cameras. I'm talking about rebuilding the rank and file of law enforcement throughout our nation to interrupt and prevent such violent attacks, all while we continue to educate and collaborate and preserve, and I would say this to you guys, and safeguard the foundational principles of liberty and life.
Rick, we got about 30 seconds left here. We're hearing there may be another protest scheduled on Saturday here in Indianapolis over at the State House around noon. It's a big weekend here. The weather should be warm. People are in town for the NBA Finals. What advice would you give anybody listening? Yeah, parade this weekend. What advice would you give anybody listening right now that's thinking about coming to downtown, but they're hearing about some of these protests that may be scheduled?
Come and enjoy your capital city. You've got the best in the business in law enforcement standing out there to protect and to serve you. And guys, here's what we share with our officers. They're reliving 2020 right now in their minds and in their spirits. And this is what I'm telling our officers. You have to remember that you raised your right hand and you swore an oath, so help you God. And we serve a never failing God. For he himself has told us that he'll never leave us and he'll never forsake us. So that's why we boldly say, the Lord is our helper. We will not fear. And what can man do to us ultimately? So they go out there and risk their lives. They suit up and they show up, and they will be there to protect you and serve you throughout all of this. Come and enjoy life, live your life, and stand firm with our officers and back the blue.
Rick Snyder, President, Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 86. Rick, great stuff, man. Awesome that you got a chance to sit down and talk shop with the President and the Attorney General. And as always, be safe and tell your officers the same.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Need to be checking your Social Security statements to see how much money you'll get in retirement. Have you been doing that? The number could be a lot less, or it could be a lot more than the number that's on your statement. Discover how you could get every penny that's rightfully yours with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy here in Indy.
Bill Demery, my retirement guy, and he should be your retirement guy. Bill Demery can explain things to you in a way that makes sense. He's going to help you get every last penny that's rightfully yours in retirement. All you have to do is schedule the free analysis right now. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Don't let the government take your money. It's yours. Get that free analysis with Bill Demery right now. 317-648-5120.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom-built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5, and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month, or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month, or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
Game 3, Pacers and Thunder tonight. Downtown is going to be jumping. Matt Bear, how are we looking?
Not great, Hammer. We just had a crash reported coming southbound 65 at West Street, and that is a peel off into downtown. Stop-and-go traffic from West Bank to 29th, and that construction delay is awful. Southbound 65-70 from the north split down to the south split. The delay is at 16 minutes. Eastbound 70 dragging into the south split from Tibbs Avenue as I look at Maryland Street, Washington Street from the west side. That's backed up all the way to the White River, almost to the zoo, and southbound west also jammed from I-65 down to Maryland as traffic heads to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Looking at northbound 465 west side, crash at Crawfordsville Road, blocking the right lane, slow to 21st. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here in just a moment, Trump, he's putting out statements on social media ripping the leadership, or lack thereof, in Los Angeles.
No,
we will have that, plus downtown coming alive. Big NBA Finals game tonight. Pacers, first home game. First time in the finals in 25 years against the Thunder, and we'll get you primed and ready. It's 84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Nige, did you or probably your old man or maybe his old man listen to the Beach Boys at all?
I was never a Beach Boys guy. I never cared about them. But, yeah, of course, I know their songs, and Kokomo back in 88 was probably their last hit, I think. But that's about the extent. Didn't really care about them.
Brian Wilson, longtime co-founder, singer of the Beach Boys, passing away at the age of 82.
Very well-known and famous musician.
I mean, they were an institution.
Huge. Oh, yeah.
Hit after hit after hit. So here's what we're going to do. I've got a 7-song Beach Boy hit montage here.
Okay.
In honor of the late Brian Wilson, passing away at 82 today. Producer Allison, these songs probably were out for 30 years before you were born. But I feel like you're pretty well-versed at music. So I think you're going to know all of these. I've set the over-under at 6.5, Nige.
She's going to run the table.
That's what I think, too.
All right.
I feel pretty confident.
Okay. Again, honor system. Just give us a yes when you know the song.
Gotcha.
Here we go.
Yes.
1 for 1. California Girls. We're on the board. Here we go.
Yes.
2 for 2.
Let's go surfing now.
Yes.
3 for 3. Surfing Safari.
Yes.
I think she's going to run the table.
Yeah. What are we at now?
Of course. Yep.
We got 5 for 5, I believe.
Yes.
6 for 6. Comes down to this.
Yeah. 7. Of course.
Although I don't think Brian Wilson sang on this song. So.
He did not sing on this one. But if you're going Beach Boys hit montage,
okay, yeah,
I think it makes the cut.
And it was that was their last big hit.
Right. John Stamos in the video playing the bongo drums in the background there.
I think the first time I heard of the Beach Boys was when they guest starred on Full House. So
yeah, because Uncle Jesse pulled some strings and got some of his buddies to come on.
Yep.
Crowds are gathering downtown. There's a lot of buzz. Maybe some protest. We'll see. We're going to talk about that when we come back. Trump is ticked off at Los Angeles. And maybe another poetry moment with AI Joe Hogsett. Don't go anywhere. We are rolling here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer and Nigel Show love American Standard heating and air, all because they are built to a higher standard. I have an American Standard air conditioner installed at my place, and I only use American Standard dealers to service that air conditioner. Here's Hammer to tell you about one of those awesome independent American Standard dealers in Central Indy.
Family Heating and Air Conditioning, The Morris family and their staff ready to hook you up this spring. You could call Rachel, Marcus, or Malia today to make sure that system is ready for the hot summer weather ahead. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. If you've already got a quote from another company and it doesn't look right, contact Family, because nobody cares for you like family. Also, ask them about how to get better indoor air quality. 317-577-8077. That's Family Heating and Air, 577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Hello, this is Don Steffi, Executive Director for the Indianapolis Ballet, and I want to personally thank everyone who made this past season such a wonderful success. Whether single ticket buyers, subscribers, donors, volunteers, or corporate and foundation supporters, a sincere thank you is extended to you all from our board, staff, and dancers. Let's have another dance together next year, shall we? As we present a new season of great performances by your Indianapolis Ballet. Thank you.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It's now open. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg, right in front of Premier Arms on Green Street. You got to see the selection. Newly expanded, the gold, the diamonds, the silver, the gemstones, the local artists, and of course, that watch collection. Guys, you got to trust me on this one right here. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg, 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or find them online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Yes, the Fragile 2025 Tour, Thursday, October 30th at Old National Center.
More info online at WIBC.com.
You're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
They're sending a message to the White House. Lisa Brady, Fox News. After 5 nights of protests turning violent over immigration raids in Los Angeles.
We all stand in support and solidarity and call for the raids to end.
L.A. Mayor Karen Bass joining more than 20 mayors and local leaders opposing the president's military response and arguing that ICE raids are targeting everyday people, not just violent criminals.
But when you raid Home Depots and workplaces, when you tear parents and children apart, and when you run armored caravans through our streets, you're not trying to keep anyone safe. You're trying to cause fear and panic.
She's imposing a curfew for a second night in downtown L.A. while blaming violence on the administration's tactics. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt.
President Trump received a clear mandate from voters to reverse the illegal invasion ushered in by Joe Biden's open border and to end the lawlessness represented by Karen Bass in Gavin Newsom's California.
She says Democrats are choosing criminals over constituents and that mass deportations will continue. Fox's Steve Harrigan in L.A.
We are learning more about the weapons being used in these protests. It's not just water bottles, stones, and fireworks.
2 people have been detained on explosive charges. They were using Molotov cocktails. That's basically a firebomb that can kill. And Fox's Bill Malugin says that 3 of those arrested were carrying guns. So they're facing, in addition to other charges, unlawful firearms charges as well.
One of the Molotov cocktail suspects had been deported previously and has faced other charges in California. A mixed verdict at Harvey Weinstein's sex crimes retrial in New York. The jury finding him guilty of first-degree sexual assault, but not guilty on a sex act charge. And they couldn't agree on a rape count. So the judge wants deliberations to continue tomorrow. The defense has been pushing for a mistrial. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Some people aren't all about the game. Rain is not a worry for this evening's activities. And you've got 84 in downtown Indianapolis. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02.
2020 during COVID, my 5-year bucket list plan was if one of my teams make it to the finals, I'd want to go to the game.
Pacers fan TJ does want to be at Game 3 of the finals tonight at Cambridge Fieldhouse in downtown Indy.
Birthday was just last week. Father's Day is around the corner. Beautiful wife, beautiful daughter. They both chipped in and helped me out.
But other people are planning a protest called from L.A. to Indy. That's a protest against ICE raids. Indy Metro Police say they are aware. They will be joining with Indiana State Police to make sure order is maintained, and you will see police officers if you are in downtown Indianapolis. Meanwhile, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett says he's not resigning, and now City County Council President Vop Osili is apologizing for the ejection of one of the sexual harassment accusers at Monday's council meeting, saying in a statement this afternoon, while I believe and practice upholding long-standing council rules that limit public comment to 2 minutes per speaker, I regret the trauma to Ms. Roberts and her supporters. An already difficult moment for a survivor was made even harder. The contract negotiations between the Firefighters Union and the Fort Wayne Fire Department have become quite public and somewhat nasty, with accusations of mismanagement against Fire Chief Eric Leahy. Mayor Sharon Tucker says public safety is the first priority.
And we have proven that with showing you the response times, the consistency of the response times.
She says they will keep working to get a satisfactory contract, even though the sticking points are many. Eddie Jones may not get life with no parole in the killing of Indiana State Trooper Aaron Smith. That's because Jones's lawyers are saying he has an intellectual disability. Jones was seen on video swerving to hit Smith when Smith was putting out stop sticks on Ronald Reagan Parkway in Hendricks County in June of 2023. Indiana gas at 306 on average. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, southbound 65 West Street. This is a crash blocking the right lane, slowing us down back to 29th Street for a delay right now at 2 minutes. Now that southbound 65 70 construction delay jamming from the north split down to the south split delay is 5 minutes. Westbound 70 slowed to the north split from Sherman Drive. Eastbound 70 jammed up from Tibbs Avenue into the south split, and looking at downtown traffic heading to Cambridge and Maryland, backed up from Meridian to the Zoo. That's And southbound West Street stopped from Indiana Avenue down to Washington Street. Looking at the south side, eastbound 465 slows from Kentucky Avenue past Man Road and crash clear on the west side. Northbound 465 after Crawfordsville Road still slow back to West 21st Street. Traffic sponsored by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hardworking candy bar. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Wednesday evening, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, low temperatures around 63 degrees, and winds out of the southwest have 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be on the partly cloudy side of things, temperatures warm near 90. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renard Sudas, 493 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock!
Yeah, man, fired up for Game 3 NBA Finals. 25 years in the making. The Pacers versus the Thunder here at home. Tip-off on ABC, 8:30. And there are tons of people pre-gaming right now downtown Indianapolis. Lots of crowds, and not only is there a buzz in the city, but I might have one myself. Who knows?
Yeah, we're going to talk to Matt Bear coming up here in just a little bit when he does his traffic report, but downtown is already hopping. People are at the bars. People are sitting outside. It is the perfect
Beautiful day.
No chance of rain tonight, I believe. So if you want to come down and go to any one of these places that have the games on the screen, I think there's an outdoor viewing party next to the field house. Of course, the action inside the field house.
And imagine if they win tonight. I'm just looking ahead. I'm not counting my chickens. I know I'm probably jinxing it. But Friday is the next game.
Correct.
Here at home. Headed into the weekend. Imagine if the Pacers can win tonight. And then going into that game on Friday.
Friday the 13th. You want chaos, my friend.
Oh, boy.
Friday the 13th.
I can't wait.
Take care of business tonight, though, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Because, damn it, Oklahoma City's really good. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, no good, rotten Kentucky Wildcat, born in Canada. How many reasons do you need to hate this guy, right? Come on. Speaking of crowds, mostly peaceful pipe bombs by the crowds in L.A., Nige. Mostly peaceful bricks being thrown at officers. Some other cities getting in the action now. We're hearing there may be some sort of demonstration tonight around 7 near the field house. It doesn't sound like the IMPD is overly concerned with this. Also, Saturday, there's supposed to be some sort of demonstration noon to 3 over at the State House here in Indy.
And these are the anti-ICE raid demonstrations, anti-ICE, anti-deportation.
Correct. And listen, maybe I'm the bad guy here, but as long as law enforcement can do their jobs in Los Angeles and nobody gets hurt, I don't care if they burn their own city to the ground. If you want to threaten me with a good time, you're doing so. That liberal hellhole that's ran by an incompetent mayor, a super woke greaseball governor, as long as the police and ICE agents are okay and they can do their jobs, if you want to burn your own city to the ground, be my guest. Knock yourselves out. Now, Donald Trump, he has been very critical of the quote-unquote leadership in the greater Los Angeles area, Nige.
Of course, that's why he's sending the National Guard. And that's why Gavin Newsom is like trying to sue Donald Trump in the Supreme Court, which has rejected it, by the way. That, like, you can't send in the National Guard to my state without my permission, without my approval. Well, I did. I can, and I did.
The commander-in-chief can absolutely send in the National Guard.
It was a relatively low-key night last night in Los Angeles. Half of that having to do with a 7 o'clock curfew, I believe, in downtown Los Angeles.
Which, again, makes me laugh because, well, I've got these homemade explosives. I'm ready to throw bricks through police, but it's 6:55. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off in time.
Hurry. We got 5 minutes.
We don't want to be out past curfew when we're breaking the law. So ridiculous. So we've got somebody special coming in to read these posts from Truth Social, don't we?
Oh, my goodness. We haven't seen this guy forever. Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. Hop up there on the microphone,
Put
buddy.
Your little mouth up to the microphone.
Put your butt up there. And so this is Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks reading a previous recent post from Donald Trump on Truth Social.
The incompetent governor of California was unable to provide protection in a timely manner when our ICE officers, great patriots they are, were attacked by an out-of-control mob of agitators, troublemakers, and or insurrectionists. Make America great again!
It's been a while since we've had Alvin in here reading actual
Alvin.
Posts from Donald Trump.
I miss Alvin.
I miss Trump Twitter. Like, Twitter used to be my favorite. It still is. But
I don't do the Truth Social.
The Truth Social's all we have now. Here's a little bit more from the President of the United States, an actual post on social media. One more time, Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
If we didn't send out the National Guard, Los Angeles would be burning right now, just like it was burning a number of months ago. We are not playing around.
Boom! Boom! There
Mic
we
drop.
go. Alvin, well done, my friend. And strong words from the president. Does anybody want Gavin Newsom to run for president now?
Probably Donald Trump.
Well,
or the Republicans
the
do.
Republicans do.
The Republicans.
If you're a Democrat, though, right? Do you want this guy being the face of your party? It's been one disaster after the other in his state. You can't win nationally with this dude.
The party of identity politics wants a rich, slender white man to run for president. Is that what it is? I don't think the Democrats care because they did it with Joe Biden.
Right.
You know, they had a whole. You remember the Democratic primaries? There was a lot of diversity there running for that nomination, and they dwindled it down to the rich white guy who was previously vice president under Obama. So maybe they do, maybe they don't.
Mark on the YouTube. I just now turned on my radio and thought Hammer was talking about Indy instead of L.A. with an incompetent mayor and slimeball governor. Come on.
I don't think Braun.
Listen, you might not like Governor Braun. Some of you might not. But don't put him in Gavin Newsom category. No. Not yet, okay? Knock that stuff off. But Greasy Gavin was supposed to be the heir apparent. He was the decent-looking, cool guy. He's got all the money, the celebrity friends. He's got a hot wife, all this other crap, right? He's good on camera. He's good at interviews. But the fires, the riots, the cost of living, the poop, and I can't stress that enough, the human poop on the streets. You can't run this dude nationally, can you?
It all trickles down. I mean, you could blame Karen Bass, the mayor, for a lot of that stuff, but it all starts at the top.
Speaking of immigration, CNN's head data guy, Harry Enton.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy that crunches all the numbers, has all the polling. He says that the latest polling finds that immigrant voters, people who themselves are immigrants to this country legally, increasingly support Donald Trump's efforts for deportations.
Start off on the fact that immigrant citizens, immigrant voters, foreign-born voters have gone tremendously to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020. Closest to or trust more in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right among immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats, more so than any other group that I could find. The group of voters who became more hawkish on immigration were, in fact, immigrants themselves, immigrants who are registered to vote in this country.
Yeah, I mean, does that surprise you? These people that did it the right way, that came in here, that took years for them to get legal citizenship.
A lot of money.
All of a sudden, the past 4 years under Joe Biden, come on in, we got an app for you. Just fill out the app, and we'll set a court date for you in 5 years. That would piss me off, too.
Right. You did everything right. You spent a ton of money, a ton of resources. It took forever. And now here comes some random dude just walking across and you did everything right, yeah, you're absolutely spot on. I'd be pissed off.
The numbers are going to shift a little bit for sure.
Listen, before we take a look at the roads with Matt Baer, because again, there's a lot going on downtown tonight. All eyes are on Indy, Game 3 of the NBA Finals, watch parties. People are out tailgating, maybe a protest, maybe not. We don't know. I think what we all need to do right now is to catch our breath, decompress, and have a good old-fashioned poetry moment with AI Joe Hogsett.
Hammer and Nigel present Poetry Moments with Joe Hogsett.
Roses are red. I just bought a Jeep. I can't believe it took this long for local media and my ex-wife to realize that I'm bad at my job and a big-time creep.
Poetry Moments with Joe Hogsett.
It's all having to do with him sending text messages to his subordinates recommending weird poetry readings.
And listen, Joe Hogsett was shooting his shot. He saw what Belichick was able to pull, right? And if you're Hogsett, you're thinking, look, I'm sober right now. You know, the time he's sending the text, maybe. You've got a haircut that looks good on an 8-year-old boy, and most of your teeth are going the right direction. This is your time.
Oh, my God.
You got to shoot that shot, Joe. It's your time. Matt Baer.
Southbound 65 crash at West Street coming into downtown. Push to the right shoulder. Traffic stop and go back to 29th Street. And if you're heading to Gamebridge, say on Maryland, well, you're stuck at the moment. Jammed up from Capitol Avenue past the White River to Indianapolis Zoo. Southbound West Street improved a little bit. Still jammed from New York Street down to Maryland as you make your way to the NBA Finals. Eastbound 70 jam Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. 10-minute delay. Southbound 6570, the construction delay running 8 minutes from the north split down to the south split. Westbound 70 slows rural into the north split and a crash MLK at 33rd. Traffic sponsored by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hardworking candy bar, so grab one now to power you through the day. Payday peanut caramel bar. Get to it. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And again, local TV stations in Indianapolis. If you have a, quote, investigative team on payroll, fire every one of them, because there's no way you could just now be discovering that Joe Hogsett may be a scumbag. There's no way. Dude went missing during the riots. We told you where he was at. Nobody wants to do the legwork. And now, all of a sudden, 5 women have come out. The local TV stations in the city are like, well, I guess this just happened to spring on us. Like, stop it. Where the hell have you been for the last 5 years? Everybody with 2 eyes and a functioning brain has known Joe Hogsett as a scumbag, not fit to lead this city. And yet, all of a sudden, now you want to cover it. Where's that dumpster diving dork from Channel 13? Where's the investigative lady over at Channel 6? Are you guys going to do anything at all with Joe Hogsett, or going to act like it never happened? This is why nobody respects you, and this is why people listen to our show and WIBC in droves. There's a reason. Allison, turn the music off. There's a reason WIBC beats music stations, right? We're the number 1 or sometimes number 2 station in the city. We're kicking Q95's ass. We're beating JJK's ass. You line them up, we beat them because we're ahead of the game, and we're telling you the truth. And it doesn't matter if you're a Republican, doesn't matter if you're a Democrat. We don't like any of these people. And if you're a scumbag, we're going to call you out on it. And people laugh at the TV stations in the city and other cities. And we're going to talk to Tony Kennet about that when he joins us here in about 15 minutes, because he's been out of town. He's been speaking to other TV stations around the country.
Other national networks, actually.
About the perception of Indianapolis media. And I'm telling you, the TV stations outside of Wish TV, who's actually asked Joe Hogsett twice where he was at during the riots. He lied to their face, but he answered the question. Outside of Wish TV, everybody should be ashamed of themselves. They're total frauds. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, trust the experts. Low T Center has been changing patients' lives for over 15 years. They understand what the guys need. All the treatment starts with a thorough in-person consultation, and they make it easy to get started with the quality of care you deserve. I mean, it's a summer, holidays, gatherings, family and friends. How are you going to keep going if low testosterone levels are draining your energy? The answer? TRT with Low T Center.
The Low T Center is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. You can have blood drawn. They can screen you for some cancers, sleep apnea. They have prescription weight loss medication. They specialize in testosterone and energy for men. And right now, with a free medical consultation and a free T-test, this is the perfect time to schedule that appointment at the Low T Center. FixMyLowT.com. Book that appointment right now. You're going to be glad you did. Guys, you're going to feel a lot better. FixMyLowT.com.
Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family-owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days: honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned, Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss. M-O-S-S. MossRoofing.com.
NBA Finals, and the place to watch the game is Horseshoe Casino, Indianapolis. It's inside the beautiful sports book, the Caesars Sportsbook, the big casino in Shelbyville. That's the place to go. The atmosphere, the wagers, the amazing food. Anywhere you turn, you can grab a drink. If you want to watch the NBA Finals, have a great atmosphere, maybe win some money, but maybe downtown Indy isn't your thing, check out Shelbyville. And inside Horseshoe Casino Indy is the Caesars Sportsbook. It's a beautiful place, comfortable chairs. You will have a great time. I was there last week and thinking about going back again soon. Horseshoe Casino Indy. Stop by, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see "Get a Phone on Us," get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
What do mulch, rain barrels, and mower hide have in common? They can all help you conserve water and save money this summer. Mulching beds in your yard help retain moisture and prevent weeds. Water collected in rain barrels can be used later to water outdoor plants. And setting your mower higher to 2.5 to 3.5 inches helps the turf retain more moisture without additional watering. These money-saving tips are courtesy of Indiana American Water. Find more ways to save and conserve at amwater.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this?
on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, yeah! So with the Pacers and the Thunder game 3 tonight, NBA Finals, could you name me the two teams in the NHL that are in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Only because I'm a gambling degenerate. The Panthers and the Oilers.
A 9-year-old Panthers fan was being interviewed, 9 years old, Hammer, about what her favorite part about hockey is, and her answer is super violent.
Ooh.
Check out what Sophia said when her favorite part about hockey is.
The fighting. It was really good, and I really liked how they punched each other a lot.
Good.
Are you okay with this?
Oh, yeah, I love this. Get him hooked early on the violence, man, because that's a big part of hockey. Like, I went to a lot of the Fuel games last year when I was the microphone guy trying to hype the crowd up and stuff, and, like, fights are sponsored. Like, that fight was brought to you by. Like, it's part of the deal.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
For sure. For sure. And, you know, the stadium plays music and, you know, it gets the fans fired up, and it's a big part of the game. A really good podcast, if you're into hockey, I think it's done by the Barstool guys. It's called Spittin' Chicklets, which is hockey vernacular for spitting teeth out after you've had a fight or a big, you know, hit. So, yeah, I'm 100% all in on that.
Social media star and influencer is getting some backlash after posting a video of herself dunking raw cookie dough into a bowl of iced strawberry milk and eating it. Here is a little bit of the video that people are grossed out by.
Chocolate chip cookie dough, sugar cookie dough with strawberry milk. Drink some of the milk.
So gross.
Look at that. I like this one better.
It's okay. Are you okay with this? But you got to watch the video. I couldn't find it on. I'll try to find it on X. But
okay,
I've seen the video. It's pretty disturbing.
Is the video worse than that? Because it doesn't sound bad to me. Like
cookie dough, strawberry milk, raw cookie dough.
Yeah, the woman sucking it up sounds awful. But the concept of cookie dough with milk, well, cookies go with milk, right? That's kind of the thing. Now, strawberry milk, it's a little different, I guess. But I thought it'd be way worse than that. Like, if you told me somebody mixes potato salad with pea, well, that's different. Like, yeah, I don't want to eat potato salad mixed with pea. But if you're telling me cookies mixed with milk, albeit strawberry milk, that's not too far-fetched. I don't think that's a big deal.
She's got a giant, like, sausage-sized cookie dough thing. Like, first of all, you're not supposed to eat raw cookie dough, right?
Yeah, well, you're also not supposed to go to buffets every night. But when I go to Vegas, it is what it is.
Okay.
Next question.
Real quick, Miley Cyrus says her family is emerging from a dark decade. Miley said that this has been working at repairing the lines of communication with her family for 10 years. Here she is talking about it.
Half of us weren't speaking to each other at one point, and we cleaned all that up. That was a really important part of my year. This year was all of my family putting those lines of communications back together, a lot because of, you know, I had a lot of loyalty to my mom, the way that families do when parents get divorced, you know. I watched what happens when you don't clean things up as they're happening. They really do stack, and then all of a sudden
I've heard enough.
Go, oh my.
So let me get this straight. Super rich, successful family has a little drama, and they're okay. Story's over. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I mean, it feels like every family has a little drama from time to time.
Oh.
Billy Ray's a high-profile dude. He's a little crazy. Daughter, high-profile gal. She's a little crazy. Yeah, of course. They're friends now. They're family. I'm fine with it. This is a non-story. So, Nige, we got time for one of these.
Okay.
Great moments in Miley history. You get to pick.
Ooh.
Do you want to hear Miley Cyrus doing a cover of Man-Eater from Hall & Oates? Do you want to hear her doing the Joan Jett cover, I Hate Myself for Loving You? Or do you want to hear our friends from There I Ruined It having Johnny Cash singing Party in the USA.
Oh, please. Johnny Cash. There I ruined it. Let's go right now. Please.
Play my song, the butterflies fly away. Yeah. It's a party in the USA.
All right. Clap your hands. There we go. Like that. Tony Kennet of the Daily Signal and the Tony Kennet Cast. He's going to join us next. Now, you're going to want to hear this. He has spoken to media members in other states about the perception of TV stations in Indy and the way they cover things, or the lack thereof. Fascinating. You're going to want to hear it. It's coming up right after the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An apology for a premature ejection. 84 in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing on radar. No rain expected. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. City County Council President Vop Osili apologizing this afternoon in a prepared statement to women who were at the City County Council meeting Monday who were victim to sexual harassment. Osili saying he should have been more sensitive to the situation and should have recessed the meeting instead. Anti-ICE protests beginning to spread across the country, and 15 U.S. cities have now seen demonstrations. In Los Angeles, Tuesday, LAPD arrested more than 200 people, 3 of which had guns. Fox Business's Max Gordon is in Los Angeles.
Relative calm here at the federal complex in downtown L.A. This has really been the epicenter of the protests, but not very many protesters, really more media than protesters, just some National Guard soldiers standing guard. Also no sight of the 700 Marines that have been deployed from 29 Palms. Those Marines are still down in Seal Beach, just south of the LA area. They're conducting training, and when they are going to be getting to the Los Angeles area into downtown LA, they will not have any live ammunition, and they will not be conducting law enforcement activities. They'll just be protecting buildings, federal buildings, as well as protecting federal employees as well.
Meanwhile, an anti-ICE protest expected at Gainbridge Fieldhouse tonight, perhaps to take advantage of the national visibility for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. IMPD and Indiana State Police already planning to be there. They say they will be using all of their resources for safety. May's inflation report is here, and prices increasing 2.4%, which is lower than expectations. This comes despite some top economists and big bank leaders warning of a recession because of the Trump administration's policies. Fox spoke with Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-Derrimer, who says Trump's tariff deals are bringing good to the economy.
I can tell you that what's working is working now. Prices have gone down. We're seeing gas prices go down. We're seeing grocery prices go down. People are able to keep more of their hard-earned dollars.
There are still some talks that prices on consumer goods could rise in the coming months, but today's release of the Consumer Price Index has yet to see an effect from Trump's new tariffs. Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, up at Fisher's, crash on southbound 69 going to 465, and it just happened a couple minutes ago. The ramp is open. It is partially blocked, and we do have a crash on southbound Oleo Road before 96th Street. Multiple vehicles involved in traffic, jammed past 104th. Hancock County, westbound 78 County Road 200 West, backed up to State Road 9 because of a crash. And then southbound 6570, construction delay downtown. That's 10-minute delay from the north split down to the south split. Maryland's a little bit better as you head to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. So is West Street. Safe travels as you make your way to the many construction zones in downtown Indianapolis. Just please be careful. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with a purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Moving into Wednesday night, things are going to remain pretty quiet and mild, if not a little on the warm side early this evening, with low temperatures only hitting 63 by tomorrow morning under partly cloudy skies and winds out of the southwest. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8, meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
I got you. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, I'm Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
He is an investigative reporter for the Daily Signal and also the host of the Tony Kennet Cast, Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock, right after our show here at WIBC. Tony Kennet, my man, how are you?
I am fantastic because I am not living in a major city.
We'll get to that here in just a moment. But look, I don't know if you consider Indianapolis a major city. I kind of do. If you've hosted a Super Bowl, if you host Final Fours on the regular,
absolutely.
I think you're a major city. And it cracks me up, Tony, and we were talking about this earlier, that all of a sudden the light bulb has gone off with all the news directors of TV stations in the city. Wait a minute. There may be something going on in the mayor's office that is worth some actual journalism. We have been talking about how much of a zero Joe Hogsett has been for a long time. Not because we disagree politically. We do, but because he's a trash human being that is in no condition to lead a major city. And all of a sudden, now, after 5 years, 5+ years, all the news directors, reporters, investigators in the city are discovering that the mayor of Indianapolis might not be a very good guy.
So I really love this from a kind of journalistic and a media perspective because in my travels over the last couple of weeks in Washington, D.C., and New York and Dallas, I've actually gotten to talk to some of the national news managers, the people in charge of the newsrooms for the big people. And the Indianapolis news stations are a laughingstock. When I say I'm from Indianapolis and I tell them about the affiliates, they do laugh and they mock. Channel 13, especially Channel 6, even Channel 59 receives a lot of mockery because the station managers, the newsroom directors, are actual clowns. They don't think about what is actually relevant to the news cycle. Specifically, some of even the news directors that we might even consider kind of sort of friendly here are essentially they will walk into a room and they'll look at a story about Joe Hogsett and incompetence and corruption and sexual scandal association, and they will simply say, nah, I don't like that because they're golfing with Hogsett that Saturday. And so then they just flip it on to something completely different, and then they can't understand why a certain Tony Kennet cast has twice the viewership of Fox 59 during that hour upcoming. Gee, I mean, it never even possibly dawns on them not covering Hogsett would have consequences.
And Tony, of those people that you spoke with from other major markets, how do you think they would have handled if, I don't know, their mayor went missing during the riots?
So actually, one of the main news directors for the CNN office in New York told me this, that if they had a mayor in a Democrat city that went missing, she said at some point you have to cover something just to avoid culpability, just to avoid later on being possibly having your license put under investigation because you refused to point something that is called detrimental to the public good. So all I'm saying is that WTHR and those clowns who refused to cover something extremely obvious, when CNN is criticizing you about your coverage, my God.
It is quite the dynamic. Nobody really, except Wish TV, Phil Sanchez, and I believe another female reporter from Wish TV directly asked Joe Hogsett where he was on the night of the riots.
Yeah,
but
you'll notice I didn't list Channel 8 in my series of criticisms for a reason.
Right, exactly. Those, as far as I can tell, the only ones that have ever confronted him about that. But now all of a sudden you have a sexual harassment scandal that has been going on for years under the Hogsett administration. Now all of a sudden the light bulb goes off.
Well, they have to, because again, you see the Kinnett outlet for USA Today, the Indy Star, is just going belly up in its subscription basis. No one's watching 13, no one's watching 6 or 4. Well, at some point you have to start covering it because bankruptcy is in your near future. And at some point it really does become so scandalous that, at least that I believe, you can't even avoid it at some point, even if you really, really, really want to, because that's really all that's going on other than the incoming riots.
Any chance this disappears? I mean, it seems like it's been going on for a while now. This controversy under Hogsett, is he waiting this out? I mean, nobody's going to force him to resign. No, what consequences are going to happen here?
Possibly at some point, someone in the office, a federal indictment. I think that's what you're looking at. I can't share, at least right now, some of the individuals that I've spoken to from at least as far as federal connections, possible investigations in the future. but some of the laws that were violated are not just state statutes, and that's not something that's simply brushed under the rug under a statute of limitations. At some point, the bill is going to come due. And even if, someone thinks that the precious office of mayor is protecting them, I will remind you that currently the Nashville mayor is under investigation for immigration-related matters that seem to follow the similar corrupt cover-up line.
Tony, one more thing on this before we move on. And I know this interview is about the issues and not about us per se, but this is why I'm damn proud to work here at WIBC, because when we put ourselves out there, we have been right. Tony, you were right about what was going on with the fires in Hawaii and how the workers for the federal government were taking these hotels. You were the one that had that story out there. You put yourself out there. You were right. Rob Kendall has been right about Governor Holcomb, about what's going on with some of these property tax issues behind closed doors. I was spot on with the Camp Atterbury stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody is ever going to come to us from the local media in the city and go, you know what? You were right. Here's an apology. But this is why I'm damn proud to work here, because when we put ourselves out here like this, we've got information and we stick by it.
And I'll just be very clear here. It also doesn't matter whether it's an individual from the left or the right. I took a lot of flack 2 or 3 years ago when I said, I don't really trust Diego Morales. He kind of gives off a used car salesman vibe. He looks sketchy. I don't trust his past. I don't trust what he's saying. I don't like that kind of stuff. And oh, gee whiz, now here we are. And I'm just going to point it out. When someone is doing something shady, I don't care. I'm going to let people who listen to us know.
And that's the knock on IBC from people who don't listen to this station. You just carry the Republicans' talking points.
BS.
Do you think that Todd Young would say that? Do you think Governor Holcomb would say that? Do you think Todd Rokita would say that? I know he feuds with Rob. Not everybody here agrees with everybody, but we're pretty fair and balanced when it comes to pointing out bullcrap.
I mean, again, I don't have any problem saying that there was no one in the state that argued more against Jefferson Shreve's candidacy as mayor or congressman than I did. And now he's my congressman. It doesn't mean that I'm suddenly patting him on the butt.
I want to co-sign on that one, Tony.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, verified.
Tony Kennet joining us. The Tony Kennet cast, 7 o'clock here at WIBC. Hey, just loaded question here, but what do you think of these riots taking place in Los Angeles? Oh, I'm sorry, the mostly peaceful protests that are taking place in Los Angeles, Tony.
I think that the National Guard, the Marines, and the police should switch from rubber ammunition to lead, because the attempted murders, and I mean, I've covered this probably more extensively than I've covered anything since the DNC protests and riots in 24 in Chicago. When you are throwing bricks of concrete from an overpass, not just at passing vehicles, which is still attempted murder, but when you are throwing them directly at the heads of law enforcement and actual causing concussions, and thank God those guys were wearing helmets until they were knocked off by the blocks of concrete, when you are doing actual pipe bombs on a crowded street of traffic, firebombing federal agents.
Commercial grade fireworks at federal agents.
Well, of course. But I mean, again, to think an actual pipe bomb set off on a parked car along, again, think of like Meridian Street. All of the traffic at the end of the day, all of the cars lined up, and then one of the cars on the side of the roads blow up. That endangers all kinds of people. That is terrorism. It's an insurrection. And the polling is now coming out that we all knew that Americans are heavily in favor of Trump sending in the National Guard. I can't believe all of these Democrat officials that are, again, making this their hill to die on. It's incredible.
What time do the mostly peaceful Marines get involved, Tony? What time do the mostly peaceful Marines step in?
Well, the Marines arrived 2 days ago. And ever since they were deployed, I mean, and we've been tracking that National Guard movements. The troops in L.A. have been doubled from 2,000 to 4,000 for guardsmen. Marines originally 500, now 700. And so far, the Insurrection Act has not been invoked, but the National Guardsmen are targeting individuals outside of federal buildings who are committing federal crimes. They're not playing around. Now, they're not doing to the rioters what the New York Police Department is doing to the rioters, but
what are they doing?
Oh, dude, there's nothing better. I mean, people think NYPD, they're thinking kind of dressed up like Joe Pesci at the beginning of Home Alone. Oh, no. No. We're talking full-on slamming rioters' heads into concrete, ripping the keffiyehs off of their faces and almost stringing them up. It's incredible. It's like cops in the 90s.
Hey, Tony, got to take a break. Can we come back? Because I want to continue this conversation.
For sure.
All right, chatting with Tony Kennet of the Tony Kennet Cast here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, have you ever checked your Social Security statements to see how much money you'll be getting in retirement? Here's why I ask you that. The number could be a lot less, or it could be a lot more than the number on your statement. Discover how you could get every penny that's rightfully yours with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy right here in Indy. Give him a call, 317-648-5120.
This free analysis from Bill Demery, it's fantastic. I've had one of these. And the way he breaks things down, the way he explains things to you, you'll understand it better. And let's be honest, you work hard for your money. It's your money. Don't let the government or anybody else take what's rightfully yours. Schedule your free analysis with Bill Demery right now. 317-648-5120. 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month, or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month, or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
Is your well water pressure low, tasting a little off? A neglected well can lead to costly repairs, but C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, has you covered with their well clean-out service and 6-point inspection. It's the lowest price of the year, and C&J will even throw in a free well cap to keep out the critters and crud from messing up your well. Your family deserves the purest, safest water straight from your own well. Schedule your well clean-out with C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL. The month of May has raced by at Sundown Gardens in Miss M's Home and Garden. Denny Smith here. The June sales are now on. Come shop the great high-quality products at both garden centers and save big this week. It's 20% off annuals and 30% off pottery at both locations. And if you're shopping for poly patio furniture, visit Miss M's in Bargersville for 20% off their patio furniture. Visit Sundown Gardens at 186th Street, Spring Mill Road in Westfield, or Miss M's on State Road 135 in Bargersville.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Common Threads has teamed up with the Indiana Fever to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc.
Busy day? No problem. The WIBC Mashup podcast catches you up with standout moments from your favorite shows. Fresh episodes every weekday. One click, all the good stuff. Get your daily fix. Search WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, checking out southbound 465 on the northwest side. That is stop-and-go traffic from 71st down to I-65. And traffic heading to Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Downtown streets are not awful at the moment. Please watch out for the construction zones. At southbound 6570, that construction delay is jammed for the through traffic portion from the north split down to Washington Street. Inbound 65 slow off 29th at 2 Meridian Penn, and also coming into downtown eastbound 70 slow at Harding, and stop and go West Street into the South Split. Crash on the east side Shadeland south of 38th. And a crash on the southeast side, Southeastern Avenue, Rural. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's 82 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Tony Kennet, investigative reporter at the Daily Signal and host of the Tony Kennet Cast, right after our show tonight at 7. Tony, I've seen some of these idiots on social media comparing this round of rioting to January 6th, right? Everything always goes back to January 6th to some of these leftists. But the argument I see is Donald Trump calls in the National Guard now, but he didn't do it on January 6th. And then he gave out pardons. When you hear that kind of stuff, what do you think?
Well, first of all, even if that were true, which it's not, we have the documentation that shows Trump tried to bring in the National Guard on January 6th. Nancy Pelosi, who in the actual charter of D.C., it is under the House Speaker to deploy the National Guard. That is her thing. She's on video admitting it, which is even better. I mean, that argument wasn't going to fly anyway, but even if all of that were true, it hasn't worked for Democrats for ages. And it's a political argument, right? You're trying to draw an equation to turn public opinion. It's a political argument. It doesn't work. It didn't work in 2022, much less 24. And now here we are. I guess we're trying to gauge this to 26. Again, the polling data is now out. First of all, immigrants have shifted 40 points in Trump's favor on immigration over the last 5 years. I mean, I haven't seen political malpractice like this. I don't think in my lifetime. It's really incredible to watch.
Compare this overall, this controversy, the anti-ICE raids in Los Angeles is kind of what started this all last Friday. This doesn't seem to have the same
je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, well, compared to the George Floyd riots. Do you see this happening in other cities, say Indianapolis, for instance?
I mean, it will probably come to Indy. I mean, good God, it happened to Omaha, of all places. But I think that the difference now is that the left still believes they can get out there and rah-rah and riot and, again, perform domestic terrorism, because that's what the Democrats in Congress have actively encouraged them to do. But they're going to find police departments and local people are a lot less friendly. We've seen more cars drive through lines of these rioters than anything. And I tell you what, these drivers doing so, I don't know whether to shake my head or buy them a beer.
Right. If you're expecting me to stop for some dude wearing a mask who's got explosives wanting me to stop in the middle of a riot section, that ain't happening, partner. I'm telling you that right now.
Now, I'm not endorsing anyone doing that, of course, but the individuals who have been arrested for such, I'm just saying that, give the guy a Pilsner, just to be fair.
Hey, what's coming up on the big show tonight?
Oh, we've got all kinds of nonsense. We just broke all of our records for show viewership over the last 2 days.
Nice.
Congratulations,
so
man.
We're really just trying to keep up with everything. So TBD.
That is the Tony Kennet Cast, 7 o'clock tonight, right after our show here at 93 WIBC. And the Tonus, my man, keep up the great work.
Thanks a ton, guys. You're the best.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
When you talk about your furnace, you talk about your air conditioner, you talk about the air quality, you want the finest, you want American Standard heating and air built to a higher standard. I know this. I'm a customer. I only use American Standard equipment, and I only use American Standard Central Indy local dealers like the one Hammer's going to tell you about.
How about Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville? Danny Reinhardt started Reinhardt Heating and Cooling 39 years ago. They are one of the longest tenured American Standard dealers in all of Central Indy. Danny's sons and daughter, among some of the well-trained staff members on site right there at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling to take care of you. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, they serve Hendricks and the surrounding counties. Make sure that system is ready for the crazy summer weather ahead by calling Reinhardt in Danville. Also, ask them about indoor air quality service. 317-745-4526. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. Guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts at the Low T Center for a free consultation and a free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurances accept it. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment right now at the Low T Center. Offer is limited, but book right now. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincoln.